Hello and welcome back to day 81 of our chronological Bible in a year reading. Today we have Deuteronomy 32, 33, and 34, and Psalm 91. Deuteronomy 32. Give ear, O Shamayim, which means the heavens, and let me speak. And hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Let my instruction fall as rain, my speech drop down as dew, as fine rain on the tender plants and as showers on the grass. And just for a quick little rewind and context, this is the song that Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. Okay, let's continue. Verse 3, For I proclaim the name of Yahuwah, ascribe greatness to our Elohim. The rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are right ruling. An El of truth and without unrighteousness. Righteous and straight is he. A twisted and wicked generation has corrupted itself. Their blemish, not his children. Do you do this to Yahuwah, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your father who bought you, who created you and established you? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father and let him show you, your elders, and let them say to you, when the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he established the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the children of Elohim. For the portion of Yahuwah is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance, and Jacob is Jacob. He found him in a wilderness and in a wasted, howling desert. He encompassed him, he made him understand. He watched over him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up its nest, flutters over its young, spreading out its wings, taking them up, bearing them on its wings. Yahuwah alone led him, and there was no strange mighty one with him. He made him ride in the heights of the earth, and he ate the fruit of the fields. And he made him to draw honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock, curds from the cattle, and milk of the flock, with fatness of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the choicest wheat, and you drank wine, the blood of grapes. But Yeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, you grew thick. You are covered with fat. So he forsook Eloah, who made him, and scorned the rock of his deliverance. They moved him to jealousy with the foreign. With abominations they provoked him. They slaughtered to demons, not Eloah. Mighty ones they did not know, new ones who came lately, which your fathers did not reverence. You neglected the rock who brought you forth. You forgot the El who fathered you. And Yahuwah saw and despised because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters. And he said, Let me hide my face from them. Let me see what their end is. For they are a perverse generation, children in whom there is no trusting. They made me jealous by what is not El. They provoked me with their worthlessness. But I make them jealous by those who are no people. I provoke them with a foolish nation. For a fire was kindled in my wrath, and burns to the bottom of Sheol, and consumes the earth in its increase, and lights on fire the foundations of mountains. I gather evils upon them. I use up my arrows upon them. Wasted by scarcity of food, and consumed by heat and bitter destruction. In the teeth of beasts I send upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword bereaved from the outside and fear from within, both young man and maiden, nursing child with the man of gray hairs. I said, I should blow them away, I should make the remembrance of them to cease from among men, if I did not fear the enemy's taunt, lest their adversaries misunderstand, lest they say, Our hand is high, and Yahuwah has not done all this. For they are a nation lost to counsel, and there is no understanding in them. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would consider their latter end. How would one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, unless the rock had sold them and Yahuwah had given them up? For the rock is not like our rock. Even our enemies are judges. Their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Amorah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents and the fierce venom of cobras. Is it not stored up with me, sealed up among my treasures? Vengeance is mine, and repayment at the time their foot slips. For near is the day of their calamity, and the preparations are hastening to them. For Yahuwah rightly rules his people, and has compassion on his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, and there is no one remaining, shut up or at large. And he shall say, Where are their mighty ones, the rock in whom they sought refuge, who ate the fat of their slaughterings, and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them arise and help you. Let it be a hiding place for you. See now that I am he, and there is no Elohim besides me. I put to death, and I make alive. I have wounded, and I heal. And from my hand no one delivers. For I lift my hand to the Shamayim, and shall say, As I live forever, if I have sharpened my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I shall return vengeance to my enemies, and repay those who hate me. I make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword devours flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives from the long-haired enemy chiefs. O nations, acclaim his people, for he avenges the blood of his servants. He and returns vengeance to his adversaries, and shall pardon his land, his people. Then Moshe came with Yehoshua son of Nun, and spoke all the words of this song in the hearing of the people. And when Moshe ended speaking all these words to all Yisrael, he said to them, Lay your heart on all the words with which I warn you today, so that you command your children to guard to do all the words of this Torah. For it is not a worthless word for you, because it is your Hai, which means life. And by this word you prolong your days in the land which you pass over the Yarden, which is the Jordan River, to possess. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe that same day, saying, Go up this mountain of the Abarim, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, which is opposite Jericho, and look at the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel as a possession, and die on that mountain which you ascend, and be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people, because you trespassed against me in the midst of the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because you did not kadosh me in the midst of the children of Israel. And kadosh, I'll get that. Kadosh, sanctified. You did not sanctify me in the midst of the children of Israel. For you are to look at the land before you, but not enter there, into the land which I am giving to the children of Israel. Chapter 33. And this is the barakah, which is the blessing, with which Moshe, the man of Elohim, barak the children of Israel before his death. And barak means bless. And he said, Yahuwah came from Sinai and rose from Seir for them. He shone forth from Mount Paran and came with 10,000s of Kodashim, which is saints. At his right hand a law of fire for them. Indeed, he loves the peoples, and all his Kodashim are in your hand. And they sat down at your feet, receiving your words. Moshe commanded us a Torah, an inheritance of the assembly of Jacob. And he was sovereign in Yeshurun. When the heads of the people were gathered, the tribes of Israel. Let Reuben live and not die, and let his men be numbered. In this of Yehudah. And he said, Hear Yahuwah, the voice of Yehudah, and bring him to his people. His hands shall fight for him, and you be a help against his enemies. And of Levi he said, Your Tumim and your Urim belong to your kind one, whom you tried at Massah, with whom you contended at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and mother, I have not seen them. And he did not acknowledge his brothers or know his own children, for they have guarded your word and watched over your covenant. They teach your right rulings to Jacob and your Torah to Yisrael. They put incense before you and a complete burnt offering on your altar. O Yahuwah, barak his strength and accept the work of his hands. Strike through the loins of those who rise against him, and of those who hate him, that they rise no more. Of Benjamin he said, Let the beloved of Yahuwah dwell in safety by him, shielding him all the day as he dwells between his shoulders. And of Yosef he said, Baruch of Yahuwah is his land, which means blessed, with the choicest from the Shamayim, with the dew and the deep lying beneath, with the choice fruits of the sun, with the choice yield of the months, and with the finest of the ancient mountains, with the choicest of the everlasting hills, with the choicest of the earth and all that fills it, and the good pleasure of him who dwelt in the bush. Let it come on the head of Yosef, and on the crown of the head of him who is separate from his brothers. His splendor is like a firstborn bull, and his horns are like the horns of the wild ox. With them he pushes the peoples to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, O Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They call peoples to the mountain. There they bring offerings of righteousness, for they draw from the riches of seas and treasures hidden in the sand. And of Gad he said, Baruch is he who enlarges Gad. He dwells as a lion, and shall tear off the arm, also the crown. Excuse me. And he chose the best for himself, for there the portion of the lawgiver was hidden, and he came with the heads of the people. The righteousness of Yahuwah he did, and his right rulings with Yisrael. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's cub that leaps from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with pleasure, and filled with the barakah of Yahuwah, possess the west and the south. And again, barakah is blessing. And of Asher he said, Asher is most Baruch of sons. Asher is most blessed of sons. Let him be accepted by his brothers, and dip his foot in oil. Your sandals are iron and bronze, and your strength as your days. O Yeshurun, there is no one like El, riding the Shamayim to help you, and on the clouds in his excellency. The Elohim of old is a refuge, and beneath are everlasting arms. And he drives out the enemy from before you, and says, Destroy. Thus Yisrael dwells in safety, the fountain of Jacob alone, in a land of grain and new wine. His Shamayim also drop down dew. Baruch are you, O Yisrael. Who is like you? A people saved by Yahuwah, the shield of your help, and he who is the sword of your excellency. And your enemies are subdued for you, and you tread down their high places. And it looks like this is the last chapter of Deuteronomy 34. And Moshe went up from the desert plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And Yahuwah showed him all the land of Gilead as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Yehudah as far as the western sea, and the Negeb, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. And Yahuwah said to him, This is the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Jacob, saying, To your seed I give it. I have let you look at it with your eyes, but you do not pass over there. And Moshe the servant of Yahuwah died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of Yahuwah. And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, and no one knows his burial place to this day. And Moshe was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were not dim, nor his freshness gone. And the children of Yisrael wept for Moshe in the desert plains of Moab 30 days. And the days of weeping and mourning for Moshe were completed. And Yehoshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moshe had laid his hands on him. And the children of Yisrael listened to him, and did as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And since then no Nabi, which is a prophet, has arisen in Yisrael like Moshe, whom Yahuwah knew face to face, for all the signs and wonders which Yahuwah sent him to do in the land of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, before Pharaoh, and before all his servants, and in all his land. And for all that strong hand, and all that great fearsome deeds which Moshe did before the eyes of all Yisrael. And now we're going to go to Psalm 91. Which is, let's see, no, definitely not right here. Okay. Okay. Let me just double check it's 91 before we read it. Yes, Psalm 91. Okay. Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High, who abides under the shadow of El Shaddai. He is saying of Yahuwah, my refuge and my stronghold, my Elohim in whom I trust. For he delivers you from the snare of a trapper, from the destructive pestilence. He covers you with his feathers, and under his wings you take refuge. His truth is a shield and armor. You are not afraid of the dread by night, of the arrow that flies by day, of the pestilence that walks in darkness, of destruction that ravages at midday. 1,000 fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it does not come near you. Only with your eyes you look on and see the reward of the wicked, because you have made Yahuwah, my refuge, the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil befalls you, and a plague does not come near your tent. For he commands his messengers concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. They bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You tread upon lion and cobra, young lion and serpent you trample underfoot. Because he clings... My apologies for that break in the video. The original recording stopped. So, let's see, where were we? We'll start back at verse 12. They bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You tread upon lion and cobra, young lion and serpent you trample underfoot, because he clings to me in love. Therefore I deliver him, I exalt him, because he has known my name. When he calls on me, I answer him. I am with him in distress. I deliver him and esteem him. With long life I satisfy him and show him my deliverance. And that concludes our reading for today. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're reading along with us. And peace and blessings and love to you. See you in the next one.